Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Here, you can be your best. The best train here. Learn here. Succeed here. Perform here. Win here. Thrive here. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the ICC Hour. I'm Adam Gore and thank you for taking time out of your afternoon to join us here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. Of course, the ICC Hour is made possible thanks to our friends over at Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. You can find out why by visiting renaissancebank.com.
So when are you going to give me back for the pizza?
Oh, personal foul. Let's give him a Renaissance replay. Make a successful handoff when you transfer funds to friends and family with Zelle and the Renaissance mobile app.
On this week's show, we're going to check out Mr. Keith Morrison's presentation for this year's ICC Mississippi Humanities Teacher of the Year Award. The title of his presentation is Little Boxes, The Importance of Purpose. Now, Keith has served as an English instructor at ICC since 2008. He's helped co-create World Literature 1 and drama production for and created writing for publication. He is a poetry editor and the sponsor for the Sigma Kappa Delta and Film Club. He has also earned the William Winter Scholar Award. Later in the show, we'll learn more about our adult learner partnership with the Regional Rehab Center. There are limited seats available for these Wednesday and Thursday afternoon classes in Tupelo that run from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll hear from Lindsay Patterson and Robbie Parman, who will give us more details about the class, and we'll also talk to ICC President Dr. Jay Allen on ICC's partnership with the Regional Rehab. This Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi Spotlight reminds you that May 1st is the deadline for submission of application for ICC's health science programs. These programs include Associate Nursing's degree, Diagnostic Medical Sonography, Emergency Medical Sciences, Health Information Technology, Licensed Practical Nursing, which is an August-only class, Occupational Therapy, Physical Therapist Assistant Technology, Public Health Technology, Radiologic Technology, Respiratory Technology, and Surgical Technology as well. I know that was a lot of classes, so if you need more information on the program you're interested in or maybe one in the future and its requirements, we encourage you to visit iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu, or call 662-620-5239. That's 620-5239. Again, that deadline for registration for our ICC health science programs is May 1st. I know we're just now getting April rolling here, but that deadline will sneak up on you in a hurry, so you'll want to be sure and try to knock that out today. We'll be back with more of the ICC Hour here on Super Talk Mississippi right after this.
Just cost a little bit less.
Let's take a look at that with the Renaissance replay. Make the right call with over 400,000 shopping discounts right from the Renaissance Rewards Extra checking app.
Might be a little while before I get to the bank.
That's an incomplete pass. Let's give it a Renaissance replay. Renaissance Mobile Check Deposit. Make the right call and open an account with Renaissance today.
It's time to pursue the future you deserve. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Registration for summer and fall classes begins April the 19th, and spots for ICC's free orientation are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today at iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
So Industrial Maintenance Technology at ICC is a 2-year degree program in which we train students to go into manufacturing facilities and be industrial maintenance technicians or multi-skilled maintenance technicians, to operate machinery, to manipulate and repair machinery and manufacturing processes so that manufacturers can efficiently make their products and maintain a certain production rate. So enrollment is selective admission. You apply for admission to college like you would any other program, and then you also submit an application for industrial maintenance technology. So the demand is very significant at this point in time, and it has been for a number of years now. All manufacturers in the area have maintenance jobs that are open. We constantly receive calls and requests for qualified maintenance personnel. However, we don't produce enough at the moment to fill all of those positions. On the very low end of the scale is in the range of $16 to $18 an hour, equates to around $45,000 a year before overtime. And then after several years of experience and topping out, we have maintenance personnel in the area that are making well over $100,000 a year, including their overtime. Most of the classes are taught at Belden. The few academic courses, the 18 hours of academics that are still taught on either Fulton or Tupelo or online. The curriculum is heavily electrical based because a maintenance person has to be an electrician first and then add additional skills to that. So for people who like to work with their hands, they like to figure out problems and fix problems, this is usually a really good field because not only does it give us the ability to exercise those things, it also is a very stable field as far as a job goes, a career. Like I said, everybody in the area is looking for maintenance personnel. So the job availability is there, the ability to sustain a job, and then the pay on top of that is pretty lucrative compared to most other jobs.
One hot and ready classic. We actually changed it with...
What? You've changed, Little Caesars. You've changed! They've changed, Balloon Bro. You've changed, Karate Man. How can you dance during a time like this? You've changed. Ah! Tell me why.
It tastes even better because we added 33% more pepperoni.
Give me one of those.
Walk in and walk out with the new Hot and Ready Classic with 33% more pepperoni.
Pizza. Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Well, good evening, and my name is Michelle Summerall, Vice President of Instructional Services. It is my pleasure to extend a special welcome to you this evening for this special event, which honors Mr. Keith Morris, recipient of Itawamba Community College's Mississippi Humanities Council 2022 Humanities Teachers Award. The Mississippi Humanities Council is a private nonprofit corporation funded by the United States Congress through the National Endowment for the Humanities to provide public programs in traditional liberal arts disciplines to serve nonprofit groups in Mississippi. The Mississippi Humanities Council creates opportunities for Mississippians to learn about themselves and the larger world and enriches communities through civil conversations about our history and culture. I'm sure that everyone is looking forward to tonight's presentation, and at this time, please join me in welcoming the Division Chair for Communications, Ms. Anna Britt Bigno.
I've had the honor of working with Keith for 12 years, and I'm proud to introduce him tonight. Keith is a graduate of the University of Mississippi, where he earned his bachelor's degree, and of Mississippi State University, where he earned his master's degree. He has taught English courses at ICC since 2008, including writing, creative writing, and literature courses. He co-created the courses World Literature 1 and Drama Production 4, and created writing for publication. He has received the William Winter Faculty Scholar Award. Keith serves as a sponsor for both Omicron Zeta, ICC's chapter of the English Honor Society, Sigma Kappa Delta, and for ICC's Film Club. He is the poetry editor for ICC's arts journal, The Calliope, and he is the poetry judge for Sigma Kappa Delta's literary journal, Hedera Helix, and for ICC's poetry entries for the Mississippi Community College Creative Writing Association competition. He is a member of the Mississippi Poetry Society. In the past year, Keith has published in the Louisville Review, The View from Woodall, 10th Street Miscellany, and the Hare's Paw Literary Journal, and he received second place in poetry in the Tishomingo Arts Council 2021 Spring Writing Competition. He also writes and produces music. In 2021, he released Things That Are Not Here, a collection of 11 original songs, and he recently wrote and recorded the soundtrack to the North Mississippi Rural Legal Services documentary trailer. Since 2015, he has volunteered as a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Keith and his wife Shannon have two sons, Parker and Connor, and I know Keith is extremely proud of these two boys. Please join me tonight in welcoming Mr. Keith Morris.
Now, I've got two pairs of glasses, but just two eyes. I didn't think I was wanting to read. Thank you, Ms. Baden. I really appreciate the introduction. It was really nice. And Dr. Summerall, I appreciate the award. Thank you so much. And the Humanities Council, what an honor. It was such a nice get-together Friday night. Very nice. I appreciate all that. And I thank you guys for coming tonight, whether you're here of your own free will or coerced or bribed. I appreciate it. Most of all, I'd like to thank my family. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law are here, and I want to just introduce my family, Shannon and Connor and Parker. They're an awesome bunch of folks. I'm very proud of them. They, whenever I'm working on a project, I tend to get kind of moody, and I may lock myself in my office for hours at a time, which includes me talking to myself. Usually I argue with myself, but they put up with me, and I really appreciate that. You'll have to forgive me. I made a C in speech when I was in college, mostly because I skipped. It was an 8 o'clock class. But I'm going to try to do the best that I can to get through this. Shannon asked me how long this was going to be. I said, I'm probably going to talk about 20 minutes. And she said, 20 minutes? I said, don't you want to hear about your husband? And she said, I'll live with you. Anyway, I have had the great fortune to have been published in the past few years. It's something that I've always wanted to do all my life, and I could not believe when it happened, and then when it happened again and again and again, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like a dream come true. I've been writing since I was in the second grade, I guess, and my brother had a tape recorder just like this, and some of you may have one of this when you were little. Ours wasn't that fancy, didn't have that fancy tone knob on there. But I would spend, I'm talking about hours with just a blank cassette and putting in there and recording. And I would tell stories and have it, tell them, listen to them back or make up songs. And I guess that's when my love of writing really started. And when I began, it was just for fun, something to do. It's just interesting how the purpose of writing for me changed over the years. And at one point I felt like I lost purpose, but I got it again. There were really three influences that helped me form, I guess, my purpose, but I'll get to that in just a second. Again, C in speech. I wrote because I loved music. That's how it all really started for me. I was fortunate enough to have a brother who listened to cool music. My mother listened to country music, and I would listen to it with her, but I didn't like it. But he listened to really good music, and I don't know what would happen if he had listened to disco. But it really impressed me. Plus, he played the guitar too, so that was something that really helped shape my writing as well. But I remember when I was in the second grade is when I wrote my first two songs that I can remember. One was called Switchblade, which sounds like a really serious song for a second grader to write about. The other was called Bubblegum, and I still remember the lines from that song. Bubblegum is tasty, bubblegum is chewy. Fantastic lyrics, I know. Take that, Sir Paul. Anyway, I started recording young, and I ended up moving to a jam box. That's how I recorded. And finally, I got a 4-track recorder when I was a freshman in college. But I would write these songs, and I would want to remember them, so I had to record them somehow. When I talk about writing tonight, I'm talking about poetry and music, because to me, those two things are the same. But my idea was I'm going to write these songs and record them, because one day, I just knew one day I was going to be in a successful rock and roll band, just like every other young child. But I also started writing poetry too, and really seriously in high school. In addition to writing so many songs, I wrote, you guys, some of you will know what a trapper keeper is, but I had a trapper keeper that was filled with little scraps of paper. You buy them, they're about 1.5 inches thick. By the time I graduated from high school, it was about that thick to try to close. And I wrote terrible, terrible poetry, and I wrote a lot of it, but it was a lot of fun. And that was something I really, really enjoyed, was writing.
It's time to pursue the future you deserve. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Registration for summer and fall classes begins April the 19th, and spots for ICC's free orientation are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today at iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
I've gotten several degrees in other subjects, and I've been working restaurants most of my life, so it kind of just fell into place to where let's get more experience, more information, more training, so I can take over like a restaurant and manage. I've worked all around the state, out of state. I first started up in Memphis, worked around Virginia, moved down to Mississippi, and then just been working restaurants most of my life. You can work your way from the ground up, but there's also more things involved in that where you just need that extra level of training, and that's when I decided to go back to ICC and get my degree there again. It just kind of fell into place to where I found out that they were doing a hospitality program, and I decided to apply. The online program, I was able to basically go to school around my work schedule, so it's not like I'm having to take off from work, and I could get all my work done ahead of time and have everything turned in on specific days, so I'm not having to play catch up anywhere or miss work. Just that right amount of time to where you get in, you get some training, you get some learning, and possibly some certifications under your belt, and then when you get out into the market, it might help you find a better place to start working on your career. Everything that I learned in the program is relevant to what I'm doing on currently. I mean, everything from like food cost, human resources management, dealing with customer relations, guest relations, social media marketing, things like that. It's all very, very relevant nowadays. I was able to get my ServSafe certification, which is important for managers. The best advice is just to go in with an open mind and a good attitude, and you'll probably succeed.
Ever since we opened our doors in 1964, Davis Ford in Fulton has been committed to providing the highest level of customer service and customer satisfaction. That level of commitment is shown in our 18 Ford President's Awards for overall customer experience. Whether you're looking for a tune-up, a trade-in, or a new F-150, the team at Davis Ford is here to serve you. Come see us today in Fulton. Call us at 662-862-3711 or visit us online at davisfordsales.com. Davis Ford, small-town dealership, small-town prices.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renaissance Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
And from elementary school up until I was a senior in high school, I played in a little rock and roll band called White Lightning with some of my best friends. And by the time I graduated high school, having written what I had written, I thought, I really want to make music that I make, not play someone else's stuff. There's nothing wrong with a cover band at all, but I really wanted to make my own stuff. By the time I was a freshman in college, I was really looking forward to college because I don't know if any of you remember or not, 92.1 out of Oxford, it was a college radio station that broadcast what would now be called alternative music or progressive or independent music. And I was thinking that, wow, when I go to college, everybody's gonna be listening to this type of music. I got to Northwest first semester and everybody was listening to Ice Ice Baby and Friends in Low Places. Diametrically opposite songs. So I was very disappointed about that. But I did make one of my best friends, Richard Patrick. He played guitar and we met. He was actually my sister-in-law's nephew. But we met and talked and he was interested in doing the same thing. So together we formed a band, Trampling Forward, I'm proud to say, and we played for about 11 years. But in that time, it was a time of growth, etc. And the reason I'm losing my own purpose in this show about purpose. When I was in high school and even in college, I was writing music because I loved it, and I didn't treat the music any differently. But the goal for that music was to somehow make a living. That's what I wanted to do. Make the song, make a living. Sure, it would have been great to have been as big as the Beatles, but if we were as big as the Connells or someone like that, that would have been fine too. Just as long as I could do that for a living. And as far as the poetry concerned, in the back of my mind, because I was really naive, I was thinking, well, one day I'll have arthritis and I'll turn to these poems and I'll publish them all. If you know anything about poetry and compensation, those two don't usually go together in the same sentence. Let's see where to go. But we played for about 11 years, and then after 11 years, we just stopped. We didn't really break up, we just stopped playing. And once that happened, I didn't really feel like writing anymore. It's like, what was the reason for writing if I couldn't do anything with it? Now, I did get the opportunity to play with one of my friends who I had played with in high school. I just played music, I played bass. And that was a lot of fun, and that looked like that was going somewhere at one time. And I'm not just blowing smoke here. A friend of, it's Will Smith, it was my friend I played with. His friend was good friends with Greg Allman from the Allman Brothers. His dad, Will's dad, was also friends with Rick Dees from the Rick Dees Weekly Top 40. Both Greg Allman and Rick Dees got copies of that CD. So we're still relatively young. I guess we were 20-something years old. And I was thinking, man, something's going to happen. I'm going to at least be able to play music and earn a living from it. Well, of course that didn't happen. I ended up leaving after a while. I was working 40 hours a week and then be gone all night Friday, all night Saturday playing. And it was a lot of fun, but I just couldn't do it anymore. But it's back to writing. I just didn't feel, I didn't understand, or I wanted to write, but I couldn't write. And it was like writer's block, and you've probably heard about people talk about writer's block. When you have writer's block, you still write, you just don't like anything that you write. And that's what happened to me. I would write, I have another notebook, not as thick as a Trapper Keeper, but about that big, of page after page after page of ideas that started, but they never got finished. And that's depressing as heck to look at, but that was the truth. It wasn't until after Shannon and I had gotten married, I started playing a little bit. And then it kind of changed when Parker was born. I wanted the boys to grow up and just be aware that they could create things if they wanted to create. I really wanted them to do that. So even when Parker was an infant, I would put him on the bed and play guitar for him. And after he got a little older and can talk, your families are probably the same way. We are always making up silly songs at our house. Just about, it's time to feed the dogs, things like that. So there were three things that Parker loved when he was little. He loved powdered donuts, orange juice, and his little stuffed puppy dog. So we'd sing a little song called Powdered Donuts. And I thought, that would be really sweet if I could take that and make a real song with that, just so he would always have but could always keep. And I did. I ended up downloading an app for my new iPhone that I got back then and figured out how to do it. It took forever to figure it out and almost as long to play the song, but I did it. I was like, that's something that you can always have. And I was like, it kind of got me interested. Maybe I can do something else. Well, then Connor was born, so now we had two kids crying in the house, so it kind of took away from all that. But what was really sweet, you know how babies, just a little bit before they can talk, they'll make those little noises, little cooing sounds. Connor would go, ah, and I would do it back to him. So it'd be like 45 minutes of us just doing this back and forth to each other, because I'm the kind of dad, when the kid says do it again, I'm going to do it again until the kid passes out. But, the same thing, like that little sound is so pretty. I'm going to take that and turn it into something. And I ended up writing a song for the boys out of it. Shannon even sings on it. Sure does. But from that came another song, Daddy's New Truck, another song that Parker would sing when he's running through the house getting ready on Sunday morning, Pants on Mama. That started it. I was like, this is a lot of fun. And I started to really love it again. But it became that same thing. It's like, okay, I've got to try to do something with this. I'm not going to the grave and to thinking myself that I wish I would have. I think that's the worst thing that anybody could ever say is I wish I would have. So, I meant to show this earlier. That's Richard and me when we were younger. It's May 17th, 1994. This slide has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I forgot to put it up earlier. So I'd written this song for Shannon, and I hadn't recorded it yet. And I thought, this is a good song. I liked it. Okay. And I thought, I need to try to at least push it somewhere. So I thought, I'm going to send it off to Nashville. You can't just send songs to Nashville. There's this bureaucratic process you've got to follow. But luckily, Shannon worked with a guy at AFA, J.J. Jasper, and J.J. knew Jeb Stewart Anderson, who's a songwriter in Nashville. He wrote songs for Joe Diffie and Tim McGraw, and I got his email address and emailed him, just asking him, how do I even get started? And this guy was the nicest guy, wrote me back, answered all of my questions, gave me lots of really good advice, and he told me about this place where you could send music. So I did. Of course, they didn't take it at all. And that really didn't bother me, because I was thinking, that's fine, that's okay. And I emailed him again just to tell him what the results were from the first time of sending off music, and he told me something, and I tell you what, this really got me. And it's been said in different ways. John Lennon said something different about you don't need the world, but Jeb Stewart said this, and it really stuck with me. So you don't need Nashville to tell you your songs are good. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And you can replace Nashville in songs with anything in the world. You don't need Scribner to tell you that your book is good. You don't need Better Homes and Garden to tell you that your lawn looks good. You don't need that. It's not about that. It's about what you put into it. And that really stuck with me. And after I got that, it was like or during that time is when the whirlwind just really started. I really started working hard on music, still not really sure of what I was gonna do with it. It was also during this time I started writing poetry again. I hadn't done that in so long. It was a big passion of mine that I just kind of put to the side. But I started doing it again. And I had halfway sent off some work when I was in college and maybe a little after. When I say halfway, it wasn't even halfway, it was barely, because when you send off work, you have to send off a bunch to a lot of different places. I think I was sending off one poem to the New Yorker or Poetry Magazine, like the Atlantic. You can't do that, or you could, but I couldn't do that. But I thought, I'm going to try to do something with this. Not for, definitely not for fame and definitely not for fortune, but just so that my kids and my wife could say, look, my husband did this. This is a thing that will always be here. It will outlive me, and it's there. So I did try. I sent away, and I did just send away 2 or 3, like in 2016 or 2017. One submission was immediately rejected, and it took the other nearly 3 years to finally get accepted, or 2 years, I can't remember. But I do remember the day that my first poem got published, and I was 47, 48 years old. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I made this thing, and somebody else liked it, and they're going to show other people this thing. It was a really neat experience. So I kept doing that, and I've been lucky in times since. And I still worked on music too, and I still do, even though I know that it's just going to be probably just me listening to in the end, but that's fine.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Electrical technology is, here at ICC, is a program where we take students in and teach them from the fundamentals of what electricity is all the way to very advanced concepts. It takes 2 years, it's 4 semesters, and you would always have to start in the fall because the courses are taught fall and spring. So in other words, the courses that are offered in the fall are not offered again in the spring, so you have to start in the fall, and it takes 2 years. There is a huge demand right now for electrical technicians in the workplace. As we all know, manufacturing has gotten very automated and very technical, and we meet that need with our program here. So our students they're definitely going to have opportunities once they graduate, even opportunities while they're going to school here through the internship program that we have. Most of our students on the internship program are in that $14 to $16 range, and then once they graduate, and most industries does a pre-employment exam, and then they test to see where those students will fit into their pay scale. I would say that most of them fall in that $18 to $22 an hour after graduation. So it's a really hands-on program. So that's another thing that students need to be aware of. If you enjoy working with your hands and the physical aspect of using tools and doing a job, then this curriculum would be something that you need to look at. There is a good bit of programming, but you're not just going to be a programmer. You're going to be a multi-skilled electrical technician, which means that you'll do all of the skill sets, not just the programming. Electrical technicians in manufacturing, the number per manufacturing facility is going up because the technology used in all of manufacturing is going up exponentially. I mean, we just get more and more automated and autonomous in our manufacturing processes, which means that we have to have a really skilled person to maintain those processes and keep them functioning. So the maintenance technicians today are all, by and large, have a huge electrical background to be able to do what they do with the automated processes that we manufacture today. And it doesn't matter what you're manufacturing, whether you're building cars or tires or body parts or, it doesn't matter. All manufacturing processes are automated at a really high level today and continuing to grow in that area.
Hey Indian fans, I'm Ricky Murphy, real estate agent, Tommy Morgan Realtors, and I'm also a proud alumni of the All-American Marching Band. Itawamba Community College was my home for 2 years, and where you decide to make your home will be one of the most important decisions of your life. Whether you're looking to create a plan to buy your first home, or if you're ready today to make a move into your forever home, give me a call or send me a message so we can discuss your next move. And for my family, roll Tribe!
It's time to pursue the future you deserve. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Registration for summer and fall classes begins April the 19th, and spots for ICC's free orientation are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today at iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
When I started, right around the time my first poem got published, is actually the day before my friend Richard committed suicide. And that was one of the most devastating events of my life. Not just because he was a good friend, he was like a brother to me, but at the same time, he was my audience. He was the guy I could bounce ideas off. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And if I made a song and sent it to them, he would hear every nuance that I had intended. He got it without me having to explain it to him. That was a beautiful relationship, and I miss that guy. But I had finished a record in May of 2019. I can't even remember. COVID took my memory. But I was working on this record, and my whole idea was I'm going to record it, and I'm going to let Richard mix it because he can do that kind of stuff. But he died. So I ended up writing this whole record just for him, sort of as a tribute. And I remember, I never could really sing well. I'm not going to make any bones about that, but especially as I've gotten older, I can't sing nearly as high. And I was getting really frustrated, and I was trying to mix a song, and I heard him. I mean, I don't care. I heard Richard through the music just say, "The song is all. The song is all." That makes complete sense to me. That is Richard would never say that because Richard wasn't really a words guy, but that's what he would mean, that the song is all. Another way to think about that is Ian Brown. I mean, I love the Stone Roses. Ian Brown was the lead singer for the Stone Roses, probably, to me, the second best band to ever come out of England. But an interviewer asked him and said, when you guys were first rehearsing your music, what were your, how do you put it? What did you hope to get through your music? And he says that what you do is more important than what you're going to gain from it. And to me, that makes absolute perfect sense. It's not about making something and trying to get something from it. It's about the thing itself, about creation. And sometimes, I'm about to wrap it up, Dr. Summer. Sometimes I still find myself not wanting to keep going or not really understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I am super meticulous about things that I make. And it wasn't until probably about a year ago I thought about this. Maybe it was because I was being so meticulous that I thought about my dad. My dad is a building contractor. He's not the kind of building contractor who rides around a dually and talks on his cell phone all day. He's the kind of guy who says, the roofers aren't going to be here until Thursday, so we're going to roof the house on Wednesday. And my brother and I will be like, oh God, I hope not. But we built several houses in Dogwood Hills, which is a subdivision in Batesville, or Daddy did, I didn't. And this is like 1/10 of the subdivision, and I think I counted at one time about 12 houses that I know of that Daddy built, and there are probably several more that he built before I could remember. And in one of those houses, it was a spec house. He didn't build very many of those, but he built a spec house. And I remember one Friday afternoon, it was about 4:45, and we had finished the house. We were getting ready to leave, and because the we're getting everything out because they were coming to lay the carpet and linoleum on that Monday. And plus it being 4:45 on a Friday, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is the first time ever that I'm going to get off work early. So we got off at 5. But as we were leaving, there was a hall. If you can just imagine like this wall being the wall of a hall, and at the end was a bedroom, and in that bedroom was a window. And the sun was coming in just right, kind of shining down the wall. And as Daddy's walking out, he looks back. I see him do this, and I'm thinking, uh-oh. So he said, go out to the truck and get my level. So we went out to the truck and got his level and put it on the wall, and you could tell that one of the studs in the wall was bowed out. And I'm looking at, and I see him doing this with the level to show where it's bowed, but I'm looking and said, Daddy, you can't tell. He said, well, it's bowed, but Daddy, you can't tell. I said, oh, I know where this is going. Go out to this truck and get my saw. I'm like, oh no. Anyway, so the wall is finished, it's painted and everything, but Daddy cuts, to fix a stud that's crooked like that, you cut on the back side of the bow, cut a square out, you get your skill saw done in about a third of the way, and then push on the other side until it's straight. You put a wedge in it, you put braces on it, and that fixes the crooked stud. And that's all done. But now you still got this hole in the wall. So this is Friday afternoon. Daddy patches, puts the hole, the sheetrock back in the hole, muds it, has to wait for the mud to dry. Comes back Saturday morning. I didn't have to, thank goodness. Remuds it. Has to come back again after it dries and sands it. Then he has to paint it. And he has to come back Sunday morning and paint it again. Then come back Sunday night to make sure that it doesn't need a third coat of paint. All because of that one crooked stud. Nobody would have ever seen it, but Daddy did. And I think about that. I think about that situation when I am working on a project and I don't like something and I have to totally delete, if it's recording, having to delete everything and start from scratch. Or if I spend, and I'm not lying, and this is ridiculous to even admit, spend 15 minutes looking at one of my poems going, do I put a dash? Do I not put a dash? Draw, erase, draw, erase, draw, erase. It's just crazy. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I mean, if somebody reads the poem, that's great. If somebody listens to the song, that's great. At the end of the day, it's about what I think about it. Can I go to bed at night knowing that I did the very best that I could with what I know and what tools that I have? So I guess that, as I'm trying to wrap up, that one thing that I learned about my purpose is it's not about where the thing I make goes. It's about the thing itself. It's about the whole process of going through that to create something. To me, that puts me more in touch with God than almost anything, because that tiny little fraction is what it's like to make something and see it, and there it is. What was not there before is there now. When going back to the houses one more time, when a friend of mine took us flying when I was at Northwest, it's the first time I'd ever flown. He had his pilot's license, and we flew out of Hernando, flew over Sardis Lake, and flew over Dogwood Hills. And I asked him to because I knew Daddy was getting ready to start a new house. And sure enough, as we flew over, we could see Daddy and everybody down there working. You know, and I looked at him and go, oh, you know, it is true. People do look like ants from in the air. But I started to look at all these houses too, and I was like, man, you know, they all look like little boxes just sitting there. That's exactly what they look like, just little tiny boxes. But some of those little boxes are boxes that my dad made, and that my dad put everything he had into making his little box perfect. So that's what I found out about my work, is that the songs that I create and the poems that I write, those are my little boxes. And I thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Welcome back to the ICC Hour, being presented to you by our friends over at Renaissance Bank. They are the bank that understands you. Visit RenaissanceBank.com to learn why. And don't forget to visit RewardsExtra.com to find out more about Renaissance Rewards Extra checking account. ICC and the Regional Rehab Center in Tupelo recently launched an innovative partnership with the addition of free adult education classes at the Regional Rehab Center in Tupelo. Now, classes will meet from 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. each Wednesday and Thursday in Tupelo. I had a chance to catch up with ICC's Director of Adult Education, Mr. Lindsey Patterson, the Regional Rehab Executive Director, Robbie Parman, and ICC President, Dr. Jay Allen, to talk about the addition of the free classes at the center and also kind of touch on the long-standing partnership between ICC and the Regional Rehab. So, Lindsey, tell us how this came about and just some of the other significant information that people need to know about this.
So, we were actually approached by Mr. Robbie at Regional Rehab, and he came in and we got to talking and bounced around some ideas about what services they provide and what we could do and how he could bring the educational aspect to Regional Rehab. And I said, man, we'll make it work. We'll put somebody on site and teach classes there at your facility.
All right, and then how do people find out more information or maybe get signed up for the classes?
So we've got a social media post that's kind of circulating with Itawamba Community College, and but they can contact myself or Mr. Robbie. My number is 662-407-1512, or they can contact me via email at lfpatterson@iccms.edu.
All right, what can people expect out of this?
This is something where when you step into an HSE classroom, a high school equivalency classroom, it's intimidating because you're dealing with individuals that have not been in a K-12 classroom in quite some time. We're trying to create an environment where it's stress-free, whether it be the anxiety you have with the academic side or the financial burden that you may think comes with it. It's completely free, and we have instructors here to help you along the way.
So, Robbie, talk about what this means to the Regional Rehab Center.
This is huge, this partnership. Number one, the partnership with Itawamba Community College. We have a long-standing relationship with them. The college has been so good to us throughout the years, very supportive in so many ways. But we have been thinking about ways to provide more services to some of our clients as well as the community. And we were talking about a possible online education, online diploma that we could do or different things like that, just because we were seeing so many of our clients that were falling through the cracks and needed to get to that next level and provide more opportunities for them. And we didn't know what program we could bring, but we met with, I actually went to Three Rivers Planning and Development, and we're talking to them about maybe doing an online education program here. And they were like, you need to talk to Lindsey in Itawamba Community College because that's what they're doing. And we came and met with Lindsey, and sure enough, it was exactly what we were wanting to do here at the Rehab Center. And I was like, there's no reason for us to recreate the wheel or start something fresh because ICC is already doing it and doing such a great job at it. So when Lindsey said they could bring an instructor here and we could help some of our clients as well as the entire community, they could come here to the Rehab Center, it was a no-brainer for us. And we were happy to be able to do that and very excited about the opportunity for our clients and for people here in the area.
Awesome. Well, if anybody has any questions, how can they get up with you or anybody here?
Yeah, they can give the Regional Rehab Center a call here at 662-842-1891. My name's Robbie Parman, or they can reach me by email at rparman@regionalrehabcenter.com with any questions regarding the program or also regarding the Rehab Center.
Dr. Allen, talk about this new opportunity that ICC has here and what it means to the college.
Well, for ICC, we've had a long-standing relationship with Regional Rehab Center, and when Lindsey and Barry Emerson brought me forward this idea of coming over here and teaching these high school equivalency classes, it was a no-brainer. Because of that great relationship and our ability to move the needle for the communities that we serve, and we know Regional Rehab has done a tremendous job of that. What a great ministry they have across the region. We couldn't help but want to be a partner in this. The high school, we know that for we see it as the path to prosperity goes through education. So to help people that did not achieve that high school education while they were in high school, we're able to do that for them, and we're really, really good at that in helping them reach those goals.
We'll talk about the partnership that ICC and Regional Rehab shares and what that partnership means to both.
Well, For oftentimes, they have individuals that they refer to us, and we have individuals that we refer to them for different needs that they provide here at the Regional Rehab Center, which is a tremendous plus to have that, but just a great working relationship, the ability through the college's years to do some fundraising for regional rehab, their ability to support our efforts. It's just a great partnership where we get to really make an impact on our communities.
Don't forget, for more information on the free adult classes at the Regional Rehab Center in Tupelo, you can email adulteducation@iccms.edu. That's adulteducation@iccms.edu.
That's home. That's just like the Ravens. That's just like Pahokee, Florida. That's my second home. I got my degree from there, my first degree, college degree. It's part of my heart, it's part of my soul, it's part of my spirit. And, you know, it's everything. Itawamba Community College, baby, it's everything. It shaped me up to being a great man because it was part of the journey of me becoming the young man I am today. And it's home, man. That's it. Like, I could go there and lay my head down without no problems. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Ever since we opened our doors in 1964, Davis Ford in Fulton has been committed to providing the highest level of customer service and customer satisfaction. That level of commitment is shown in our 18 Ford President's Awards for overall customer experience. Whether you're looking for a tune-up, a trade-in, or a new F-150, the team at Davis Ford is here to serve you. Come see us today in Fulton. Call us at 662-862-3711 or visit us online at davisfordsales.com. Davis Ford, small-town dealership, small-town prices.
Playing on tour takes years of dedication, hours of practice, focused precision, and nerves of steel. That's how you become great at the game, but not how you should bank. That's why Allie Ewing chose Renaissance Bank. Their easy-to-use app makes banking a breeze, no matter where she is. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
And that's going to do it for this week's show. I invite you right back here next Tuesday, starting at 1:06 p.m. for the ICC Hour presented by Renaissance Bank. Now, if you happen to miss any of today's shows or any previous shows, they're available on our YouTube channel, typically shortly after we wrap things up here. All you have to do is search the ICC Hour. That's the ICC Hour on YouTube. And don't forget to go ahead and like the show and subscribe to our page while you're there. You can also keep up with all things ICC by visiting iccms.edu. That's iccms.edu, and all things ICC athletics by visiting letsgoicc.com. One more time, that's letsgoicc.com. If social media is your thing, you can follow us on your favorite social media platform at ItawambaCC. That's all one word, ItawambaCC, and Let's Go ICC. Again, that's for the athletic side. Let's Go ICC. We'd like to thank Renaissance Bank and all of our sponsors you heard throughout the show this afternoon for helping make the ICC Hour possible here on Super Talk Mississippi. If you would like to learn how you can advertise through the ICC Hour or ICC Athletics, give me a call at 662-862-8059. That's 862-8059. And don't forget to visit RenaissanceBank.com to find out why they are the bank that understands you. This is Adam Gore saying so long to next Tuesday. I hope you guys have a blessed week. And as always, roll Tribe.
Why settle for a checking account that just holds your money? Renaissance Rewards Extra gives you so much more. Like savings at more than 400,000 retailers, 24/7 roadside assistance, a cell phone protection plan worth up to $400, $25 in ATM fee refunds per monthly cycle, and a great interest rate when you meet 3 easy qualifications. Get extra today at rewardsextra.com. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
It's time to pursue the future you deserve. At Itawamba Community College, you can earn an affordable degree, certificate, or credits to transfer to a university for a fraction of the cost of most colleges while having the experience of a lifetime. Registration for summer and fall classes begins April the 19th, and spots for ICC's free orientation are filling up fast. Don't wait. Apply today at iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College, the best start here.